Hey, beautiful Geminis. Welcome back to the channel. Let's get straight to your messages, Gemini. What does Gemini need to see, know, or hear? Gemini. Okay, Gemini. So it seems as if you're moving in silence. You could be this boss bitch, running your own business, stable, busy, multifaceted. Somebody's been stealing your ideas or copying your work, duplicating or feeding off of you. Someone hates your spirituality, your light, your magic, and your power. They could be moving in silence, or you could be moving in silence because somebody's been stealing your creative projects, feeding off you. Divination abuser. Getting evidence, getting proof. Hating your spirituality could be calling you an abuser of the divination, or they themselves are abusing the tarot or using divination someone's stealing your work. They could have a bad reputation or talking shit about you, but they're stalking you. You could be talking about someone who is a divination abuser, who is talking shit about you, or vice versa. This could be someone who is literally talking shit about divination, but they're copying your ideas. So someone could be moving away from them, and someone is really into you. Someone's all up in their head. Now, is somebody talking shit here that you don't know your business? Is it that someone's talking shit about you, saying you don't know your business? You don't know. They're talking shit. They could have said, you neglect your kids, or you're so busy doing divination that you're not looking after your kids, or some bullshit like that. Yet they're stalking you and they are stealing your ideas. Because you're highly respected. You are highly adored, admired, and idolized. Now, somebody could have said you married for money. And then ghosted them, or vice versa. Hang on, Gemini. I think you just got fed up. People digging up dirt on you. Somebody wants you back. And I don't think you're interested. So they might have started, you could have rejected somebody, and they could have started talking shit about you, that you don't know your business, or that you abuse the tarot, you neglect your kids, you do this, you do that. It's because you're not interested. This is potential and possibilities. You are worthy of beautiful things. The servant queen. You are valuable. Maybe you didn't know your value. Stay open to the good and beautiful things. Trust in the places you feel guided towards, space, time, and self. Reincarnation is here. Familiar places. I feel familiar here. I feel this is deja vu. I've been here before. I've done this before. It's because you have. And it's trusting that. You could be moving. Ah, may sweet and soft things find you. This is harmony. So, familiarity, serendipity. This is familiar to me. I've been here before. I either like this place or I don't like this place. I either like this person or I don't like this person. You have strong centers where you're drawn to, where you want to live, where you want to move, where you feel comfortable, and where you do not. People around you and places. Gemini, home. Empress energy. There's some regret here, or shame, or guilt. Somebody's tripping on you or watching your work. They're feeding off your work, copying your work, talking shit about you, but copying you. This is weird. They're talking shit about you, but they're copying you. Is this an offer? Choosing to make an offer? Or deciding about an offer? Is this somebody talking shit because they're jealous? Saying, oh, you're going to get stuck, they're just marrying you for your money. I don't know. It's a proposal of marriage. And somebody is like worried here or stressed out, and I'm not sure why. Well, you know your worth. Maybe you didn't know your worth or your value before, but you sure the hell do now. So somebody might be saying, oh, you neglect your child, or because you're confident, you're bright, you're an entrepreneur, you're multifaceted, and that's what they're saying. They could be talking shit, saying there is child neglect here. You are neglecting your child. Either this person is worried about committing to you because they feel they would be neglecting a child, or this is the gossip and the shit that's being said about you, that you neglected your child. That you could have, I don't know, maybe it's you yourself that were neglected as a child, abandoned as a child. Maybe you didn't know your value. Maybe you didn't know your worth here. Or this person did not know their value or their worth, because maybe they were neglected as a child. There's some anger here. Maybe there's a child who ran away from home. Maybe they left home early, at an early age, because of abandonment, because of neglect. Maybe they had to go to work. Maybe they had to move and start working. You know what I mean? A shock. Maybe there was violence in the home. Maybe there was aggression in the home. This is somebody who could have left home at an early age. I'm running away. This could be a runaway. I'm running away. I can't put up with this in my house. There's child neglect. There could be either they're talking shit about that, or it really happened. It's a lot of talking shit. Hmm. But this is ascension. This is learning. This is soul searching. And learning. Balance. Prayers. Geez, this may have skewed someone's entire upbringing. You know that? It's like they could have grown up with, say your prayers. Say your prayers. It could have skewed someone's view of spirit, of their spiritual beliefs or their religious beliefs. It could have skewed them from maybe they learned not to trust God. Maybe they learned not to trust in God because if God let this happen to me, there can't be a God. I've prayed to God, and even, God didn't hear my prayers. Maybe this is a person who learned to resent spirituality or religion due to the fact that what happened to them as a kid. If there was a God, why would God let this happen to me? They learn to not trust. They learned to not trust. This is confession. Say your prayers and confess. And somebody's thinking like, what are you talking about? Someone learned to rebel against God, or learn to rebel against the church, or learn to rebel against spirituality. They're a spiritual hater who moves in silence. They study you. They copy you. But it's almost like this person doesn't even believe in God, doesn't believe in spirit, doesn't believe. They're a disbeliever. They could be an atheist. I don't know. They don't believe in God. They don't believe in angels. They don't believe in spirituality. They don't believe because of what happened to them as a kid. If there was a God, God wouldn't let this happen to me. If there was a God, God wouldn't have allowed me to suffer like that. If there was a God, God knew that I was being neglected, knew that I was being abandoned, and God did nothing for me. It's because this person has wounds that need healed. And they found that superficiality gave them some sort of power. Somebody has wounds. This could have been somebody who's always searching for love, always searching for love, thinking that something else out there would heal them, or that if someone loved them enough that would heal them. But the true journey is healing of self. But somebody was always searching for that healing energy, searching for that love that would heal them. but searching for it outside themselves. That's the truth. Seeking the truth. Seeking the truth. Divination. So somebody rejected I don't know. Somebody could have been rejected in their childhood. Somebody might be seeking answers through divination or finding their purpose through divination. Ooh. Ah. Ah. It's codependency, narcotics, alcohol. I'll find my answers through drinking or, doing other things. Somebody could have really gone through a tumultuous upbringing and it's like felt even that spirit or God abandoned them. Tradition. What the heck is this? Oh my god. Somebody may have turned to the devil. Just saying. Somebody may have even tried to someone's actions. Somebody could have been not sure about the truth. I think that somebody may have attempted or did I can't say it on here. Somebody's father could have been really nasty, mean. This is somebody who wanted to run away from home, probably contemplated the S word or ended up doing that. Could have been drinking themselves to unaliveness or intoxicating themselves to the point of not being here anymore, or at least attempted it. because their father could have been a traditionalist, or but the way that this father behaved turned this person against religion, turned this person against spirituality. In fact, they turned this person against God. They could have become an atheist. They could have become, involved with the opposite of God and what God represented. Because to this person, if that's God, I don't want nothing to do with it. If that's a representation of what God is, I don't want to know God. This is a violent upbringing. But their father might have been, a religious person who looked good to everyone except for the people that lived in the house. This is somebody who wanted to run away, who was worried, who was stressed out, who couldn't take it no more, who figured that if they could find a lover who would just love them unconditionally, that this lover would heal them, that a lover would heal them. But even that turned out to be a power struggle, or that turned out to be controlling, and maybe this is somebody who, learned to abuse the role of being in control, or maybe they were abusive and controlling. Maybe mom and dad fought a lot, argued a lot. Maybe there was physical violence. I don't know. There's a lot of pain that somebody's been hiding. Learned to become very defensive. Some even turn to be overprotective. Somebody had to face a lot of insecurities. And bringing those insecurities into relationships. It's like, how do I form? And this is, how do I form a successful, respectful relationship where somebody values me and respects me and worships who I am and respects who I am and who is proud of me? But you won't find it. Because you have to be proud of yourself and you have to love yourself. And it sounds corny, crappy, cliche, but the truth. It's the truth. It's repeating cycles, right? Not looking where you're going, just jumping in. This one will love me. This one said they loved me. This one must be the one, you know? I don't know. Someone feels like someone got away with it. Someone feels like somebody got away with what they did. They got away with it. But there is this thing called karma. And this is about change. And this is about cycles. And healing from those cycles. And healing from those wounds. Healing. It's evolving, ever changing, ever changing, or never changing. Somebody could be changing their point of view. You could have inspired someone to heal. You could be inspiring someone to heal. Somebody who is a disbeliever, you might be making a believer out of them. How do they know my story? How'd they pick up on me? This is bringing the light. This is like, maybe somebody does respect me. Maybe somebody does worship me. Maybe somebody does idolize me and think of me in a loving, respectful fashion. Why can't I have that kind of love? Why can't I believe? You can. Somebody has done this their whole life and may have come to the realization, I am lovable just the way I am. I don't have to impress anybody. I don't have to, have X amount of dollars in my bank account. I don't have to have, I just need to love me. That's it. Yeah, loving yourself enough to heal. Loving yourself enough to give yourself the gift of looking after yourself and caring for yourself and realizing you're just perfect the way you are. You don't have anybody to impress. You don't need to impress anybody and look out there for anybody to fulfill you when you can fulfill yourself. And when you are fulfilled within your own self, that's when change occurs. Being open, testing the waters. somebody is. They're testing the waters. It's like baby steps. One step at a time. One step at a time. You know, it sounds really weird. We hear all these messages about going back to your childhood and healing those childhood wounds. It's real. You may even be called to like special places upon the earth where you can do that, such as a childhood home, or having to move from a childhood home. I mean, you know, who wants to stay in a house? You know, the folks mean well and everything. You inherit a house or something, the childhood home, when it's filled with bad memories. It's a good idea to move from it and sell it. If it triggers like bad memories, somebody, it's bittersweet. I don't want to, I don't want to give up. This could be, I don't want to give up my childhood home, but at the same time, I can't stay here. I'm haunted. It's like I have nightmares. I don't know. You're guided. You'll be guided to go to certain places, and you're going to be guided to leave certain places. That's funny this came out in a read. It makes me remind now of like my childhood home. I never go by it anymore. I'm like, I look at it now and I go, I grew up there. Oh my God. Holy Jesus. How do we ever exist in that home? I have no intention of going back there at all. Nope. I did about 10 or more years ago, I guess. And I'm like, first question I asked myself, how did 11 people live in that house? Like, for real. It was my mom, my dad, and 9 kids. How in God's name did everybody live in that house? No, there's certain places, like I said, you get called to. Like I was called to go there and have a look at it. And I haven't been back since. I don't have the desire to. You know what I mean? And then I am called to certain different other places where there are pleasant memories. And Spirit just seems to know what we need. Or our inner child knows what we need. We can say goodbye to the past, or we can hold on to it. And when you're ready, and in your own due time, you will be called to go certain places or leave certain places for those reasons. Someone wants you back, but you may not be interested, because I think that you've learned to respect yourself. And I think you're becoming one of your own biggest fans. And that's the way it's supposed to be. Respecting yourself enough to not accept things that are not good for you, and loving yourself enough to recognize it, and you're entitled to it. It's one of your God-given gifts. But it's easier said than done, right? It's a journey. But that's what we're here for. And that is... You know, a lot of people say, oh, I'm never gonna be one of those spiritual people. I'm never gonna be one of those religious people. And something changes in your life, well, you start to question. Maybe God is real. Maybe this stuff is real. It's not for me to answer that. Take care, Gemini.